What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What happens to us after we're gone? How was the universe created? What is God's plan for us? For that matter, who is God? These are some of the many questions that all of us are faced with when we look to define reality and the subtext of another power. What I intend to do in the course of this presentation is to provide for you an answer, define for you the basic principles of the philosophy I will refer to as Wavetronics, in which not only will I seek to provide a clear and concise answer in response to those questions, but more importantly, we'll build a bridge between science and religion and look to take fact and replace fiction, and take mechanics and substitute them for myths and legends. When we look at the principles of Wavetronics, we're going to revert back to some of the basic foundations of physics and science. And you're most probably going to have heard or recognized some of the things that you're going to be hearing throughout this course of this presentation. But what I will ask you to do is to listen to that, what I refer to as the Buddha that is inside of you, and hope that the words and the examples and the explanations that I offer ring true and resonate the sense of validity to you personally. The first thing that we need to understand when we look at the great cosmos and the universe that you and we are part of is to understand this first law of thermodynamics. This law that tells us that there is no loss, that there is only change. This can revert back to our basic chemistry classes. If I take from side A, then I have to add to side B. And subsequently, if I take from side B, I add to side A. So there you have to understand that there is no loss, that the basic building blocks, the particles, if you will, that constitute this reality are in a closed and fixed loop. And I will refer to and use the analogy throughout this presentation of water, because in looking to understand these often complex, intangible, metaphysical concepts, I'm going to revert them back to these basic, simple principles that literally are part of your life. Something that you see and touch and taste every day. If we look at water and we use that example for the nature of the Supreme Being, the God, the Buddha, whatever you want to refer to him as, we understand that water cannot be destroyed. It only changes form. Its characteristics may change as a result of the waves that are intersecting with it. It can go from a solid to a liquid to a gas, but you cannot destroy a single drop of water. And interestingly enough, if you look to the ends of the universe, one of the things that you'll find there are these water molecules, these parts of God. So I would offer that when we look to understand being made in the image and likeness of God, we look to consider ourselves vessels, if you will, of this water, of this entity.